Welcome to the podcast, Hater Proof. Most for self-improvement, good for your listening parts. Stay tuned. This is Analytics Project Brief 3, Climate Change.
When I was about 8 years old, I first heard about something called climate change or global warming. Apparently that was something humans had created by our way of living. I was told to turn off the lights to save energy and to recycle paper to save resources. I remember thinking that it was very strange that humans, who are an animal species among others, could be capable of changing the Earth's climate. Because if we were, and if it was really happening, we wouldn't be talking about anything else. As soon as you turn on the TV, everything would be about that. Headlines, radio, newspapers. You would never read or hear about anything else, as if there was a world war going on. But no one ever talked about it. If burning fossil fuels was so bad that it threatened our very existence, how could we just continue like before? Why were there no restrictions? Why wasn't it made illegal? To me, that did not add up. It was too unreal. So when I was 11, I became ill. I fell into depression. I stopped talking, and I stopped eating. In 2 months, I lost about 10 kilos of weight. Later on, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, OCD, and selective mutism. That basically means I only speak when I think it's necessary. Now was one of those moments. And I'm sorry, but it doesn't work. Because if it would have, the emissions would have gone down by now. They haven't. And yes, we do need hope. Of course we do. But the one thing we need more than hope is action. Once we start to act, hope is everywhere. So instead of looking for hope, look for action. Then, and only then, hope will come. Today, we use 100 million barrels of oil every single day. There are no politics to change that. There are no rules to keep that oil in the ground. So we can't save the world by playing by the rules, because the rules have to be changed. Everything needs to change, and it has to start today. Thank you.
Human activities, from pollution to overpopulation, are driving up the Earth's temperature and fundamentally changing the world around us. The main cause is a phenomenon known as the greenhouse effect. Gases in the atmosphere, such as water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and chlorofluorocarbons, let the sun's light in, but keep some of the heat from escaping, like the glass walls of a greenhouse. The more greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, the more heat gets trapped, strengthening the greenhouse effect and increasing the Earth's temperature. Human activities, like the burning of fossil fuels, have increased the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere by more than 1/3 since the Industrial Revolution. The rapid increase in greenhouse gases in the atmosphere has warmed the planet at an alarming rate. While Earth's climate has fluctuated in the past, atmospheric carbon dioxide hasn't reached today's levels in hundreds of thousands of years. Climate change has consequences for our oceans, our weather, our food sources, and our health. Ice sheets, such as Greenland and Antarctica, are melting. The extra water that was once held in glaciers causes sea levels to rise and spills out of the oceans, flooding coastal regions. Warmer temperatures also make weather more extreme. This means not only more intense major storms, floods, and heavy snowfall, but also longer and more frequent droughts. These changes in weather pose challenges. Growing crops becomes more difficult. The areas where plants and animals can live shift, and water supplies are diminished. In addition to creating new agricultural challenges, climate change can directly affect people's physical health. In urban areas, the warmer atmosphere creates an environment that traps and increases the amount of smog. This is because smog contains ozone particles, which increase rapidly at higher temperatures. Exposure to higher levels of smog can cause health problems such as asthma, heart disease, and lung cancer. While the rapid rate of climate change is caused by humans, humans are also the ones who can combat it. If we work to replace fossil fuels with renewable energy sources like solar and wind, which don't produce greenhouse gas emissions, we might still be able to prevent some of the worst effects of climate change.
Icebergs are melting and humans are to blame for it. Humans are also the ones to fix it. Not only has it been harmful, but harmful at a rapid pace. Many observed changes since the mid-20th century have been unprecedented over decades to millennia. Many of us as humans are trying to slow the degrading of this planet, but there is still a decline and rise of temperature, the greenhouse effect. Although this is a serious matter and responsibility should be taken for it, this brief is to only give an analyst's perspective of the situation. The questions I have are: what is the rate of climate change and how long will it take to correct? The largest driver of warming is the emission of greenhouse gases, of which more than 90% are carbon dioxide and methane. Fossil fuel burning, coal, oil, and natural gas for energy consumption is the main source of these emissions, with additional contributions from agriculture, deforestation, and manufacturing. The human cause of climate change is not disputed by any scientific body of national or international standing. Multiple independently produced instrumental data sets confirm that the 2009 to 2018 decade was 0.93 plus or minus 0.07 degrees Celsius warmer than the pre-industrial baseline. Currently, surface temperatures are rising by about 0.2 degrees Celsius per decade. Since 1950, the number of cold days and nights have decreased and the number of warm days and nights have increased. Historical patterns of warming and cooling, like the medieval climate anomaly and the Little Ice Age, were not as synchronous as current warming, but may have reached temperatures as high as those of the late 20th century in a limited set of regions. Past examples of climate change provide insight into modern climate change. Although the most common measure of global warming is the increase in the near-surface atmospheric temperature, over 90% of the additional energy stored in the climate system over the last 50 years have warmed ocean water. The remainder of the additional energy has melted ice and warmed the continents and the atmosphere. The warming evident in the instrumental temperature record is consistent with a wide range of observations documented by many independent scientific groups. For example, in most continental regions, the frequency and intensity of heavy precipitation has increased. Further examples include sea level rise, widespread melting of snow and land ice, increased heat content of the oceans, increased humidity, and the earlier timing of spring events such as the flowering of plants. Humans changed the land surface mainly to create more agricultural land. Today, agriculture takes up 50% of the world's habitable land, while 37% is forests, and the latter figure continues to decrease, largely due to continued forest loss in the tropics. The deforestation is the most significant aspect of land use change affecting global warming. NASA's Earth Data Search is the data discovery and data access system that enables data discovery for more than 27,000 Earth observation data products from NASA's Earth Observing System Data and Information System, EOSDIS, as well as U.S. and international partner agencies across the Earth science disciplines. The dataset I intend to use is a JSON file and would need to be accessed with appropriate programs which the website provides. The name of the file is Eco-Stress Land Surface Temperature and Emissivity Daily 1.L2 Global 70MV001. The ECO2LSTE version 1 data product provides atmospherically corrected land surface temperatures and emissivity values derived from 5 thermal infrared bands. The ECO2LSTE data product was derived using a physics-based temperature emissivity separation algorithm. The ECO2LSTE is provided as swath data and has a spatial resolution of 70 meters. The corresponding EC01BGEO data product is required to georeference the ECO2LSTE data product. We can already see the effects of a changing climate. Last year saw record numbers of hurricanes and wildfires and was the worst year for polar ice melt. Research leaders around the world believe that the next decade will require unprecedented, powerful action to curb greenhouse gas emissions and avoid the most catastrophic climate impacts. A dataset analysis could provide insight to better approach the coming changes. Every human should do their part in correcting the climate to an acceptable degree of change. This is the planet we are habitual to, and maybe we should do better in taking care of it.
A little while ago, thinking how I used to be so young and beautiful. Now I'm just beautiful. The best thing about getting older is nothing. It sucks. Shaving my legs wears me out. On a happy note, my leg hair grows slower now, which is great. That gives me time to deal with all this newly acquired facial hair from hell. I still have my hourglass figure, though, but the sand shifted. I lost weight, went from a 38D to a 36 long, which is kind of a bonus because I don't have to buy bras now. I can just tuck those puppies in the elastic waistband of my old lady pants or roll them up and put them in a tube top. My mind thinks I'm 25, but my body thinks I'm an idiot. I threw out my back sleeping, tweaked my neck sneezing. I swear I'm just one strong fart away from total paralysis. The last time I sprang into action was when my recliner broke.
Vote for the change or the lack thereof. Vote for Kanye West if he runs again. Vote for Matthew McConaughey. And leaders are only as strong as those that follow. Thank you for tuning in. Enjoy your next 24 hours. On to the next one.